A life of perfect score. During the Qing Dynasty, there was a taoist, Wang Chi Tou, or cabbagehead Wang, who was from ZhiLi, the present Hei Bei Province. He was by nature simple-minded and did not know how to take care of himself. After the passing away of his parents, he lived destitute, without much to eat, staying alone in a broken thatched hut. The neighbor took pity on him and gave him some rice and sweet potatoes, or at times some will give him money. But as he was too stupid, he did not even know how to use the money. Taoist Chen took him home and asked him to sweep the floor and pick the wood for cooking. In the daytime he would do the household chores. Then he went up the mountain to pick the firewood. At night he would recite neighbour Buddha a few hundred times, besides bowing to the Buddha. This would last about the length of a burning incense, which is about half an hour to 45 minutes. His recitation is often out of tune, and very often he would forget the words. Besides, he kept on falling asleep. It could be because he woke up early in the morning to do the housework. As he was not alert, he often fell into a stupor. Taoist Chen would use a long bamboo pole and hit him. He commented, "You are so stupid already, and now you still do not want to be diligent. You have been sleeping too much." The old Taoist sat in meditation and complained about his stupid disciple. So in this way they lived together for 3 years. One night, he suddenly laughed loudly. On hearing this, the old Taoist again took the long pole, aiming to hit him up. He shouted, "Don't try to be funny, why are you laughing?" Wang said, "Today, Shifu should hit me no more." Strangely, he asked, "Oh, why?" He answered, "Shifu, you've been sitting there for 18 years like a piece of withered wood, wasting your time away. You don't know cultivation. If you can honestly bow to the Buddha and recite the Buddha's name, you should have long been born in the Western land to see the Buddha." The old Taoist was shocked to hear this. His disciple seemed different today, but he still could not understand the meanings of the words. The speaker was sure of what he was talking, but the listener fell into confusion. The speaker here knew the time of his attainment of a rebirth, and before he left he gave his teacher a reminder. He had been hit by the long pole on the head for the past 3 years. Now before he left he used a few words to wake his teacher up. The next day he climbed up a high cliff, facing the west, and placing his palms together, and attained a rebirth in the Pure Land, standing on top of the mountain. As he did not come back at night, old Taoist looked for him in the mountain and brought him back for cremation. 2 sharira was found in the ashes. This story was recorded in the Book of Permeating Fragrance and the records of Pure Land sages and worthies. Below I have summarized some important points on this story. The simpleton Wang possesses some of the following good qualities. He is honest, stupid, and he does his recitation single-mindedly. These 3 qualities go in a cycle. If he is not stupid, he will not be honest, and it is impossible to be single-mindedly doing the same cultivation repeatedly. So reciting the Buddha's name honestly means we do it single-mindedly. He is not clever, so it is difficult for him to learn other things. It is impossible for him to learn the sutra, recite the mantra, or sitting in meditation. His only good quality is to be simple and blockheaded. As he only knows how to recite the Buddha's name, he finally manages to know everything. Reciting the Buddha's name is genuine wisdom. We look at him as if he knows nothing about cultivation. But as he recites Namo Buddha, this is true cultivation. Finally, he gave his teacher, the old Taoist, this comment: "You know nothing about cultivation." He seems not very diligent. In the daytime he does the household chores and picks the wood in the mountain, and at night he falls asleep while reciting the Buddha's name. so the most he can recite is a few hundred times Namo Amitabha Buddha, and bow to the Buddha in the session one burning incense. He manages to attain a rebirth, wholly relying on the Buddha's vows. In the Sutra of Immeasurable Lifespan, it is thus stated, "Those who are arrogant and heedless find it very difficult to believe in this Dharma." What is meant by diligent? It does not mean you are doing anything at all. True diligent means that you have encountered this Dharma door and cultivated accordingly. This is known as genuine wisdom and genuine cultivation. There are some qualities we can learn from Wang the Simpleton. Look at him, poor and destitute, not even having a proper place to stay. But as he is able to recite Namo Amitabha Buddha, his life is considered a perfect score. People give him the money, and he does not even know how to count. But with the recitation of Namo Amitabha Buddha, he achieved a perfect score of 100 marks in life. He was slandered by people, looked down by people. His teacher looked down on him too. But as he recites Namo Amitabha Buddha, his life is a perfect score of 100. So, if we are poor, stupid, despised by others, all these are minor matters. As long as we recite Namo Amitabha Buddha, there is a chance to turn around in life. If we do not recite Namo Amitabha Buddha, but stay in a big bungalow, very knowledgeable, a computer designer, receiving lots of fame and praise, finally we will lose out. Look at Wang. Does he know about faith, vows, and practice? Does he know the principles of the teaching? Will his teacher, the old Taoist, teach him the rescue of Amitabha Buddha in accord with his original vows? It is impossible. He only says, "As you know nothing, just recite Namo Amitabha Buddha." The teacher feels he knows many things, so he sits in meditation. Truly speaking, the two of them do not have a common language. The only language is the hitting of the long pole. So he managed to attain a rebirth without knowing about the faith, vows, and practice, or any principles. But as he is honest in reciting Namo Amitabha Buddha, his mind is naturally enveloped in the Buddha's lights. In this way his faith and vows and practice arise in him. Finally he said, "If you can follow me to bow and recite the Buddha's name, you should have born earlier in the Western land to see the Buddha." This means he has accomplished the faith, vows, and practices. The faith, vows, and practice are originally found in the Buddha's name. Who will teach him the Dharma? No one. Does he cultivate the three wisdom of listening, thinking, and cultivating the Dharma? No. Does he have sequence in cultivation? No. Pure Land Dharma door is not taking the stairs step by step in sequence. It is taking a lift and going up straight away to be the Buddha. His good roots are that he encountered the Taoist Chen and he acted in accord with his teacher's instructions. Do not look down on a stupid man. He chose a cliff, stood facing the west, and attained a rebirth, placing his palms together while standing. All these happen relying on the strength of the Buddha. If you study sutra, sit in meditation, you lose to the Buddha. For instance, if you are a world champion, a marathon runner, but I am an old lady who cannot walk properly, my eyesight is poor, but as I sit in a car, I will travel faster than you. It is not that you lose to me. You lose to the vehicle. So at the causal ground, no matter how hard you cultivate, the cultivator of a mundane man, you will lose to Amitabha Buddha. Before he left, he laughed loudly. This laughter could mean the laughter that breaks down the empty space. This laughter is the laughter of the whole Dharma realm. This is the laughter of great fulfillment. His laughter does not mean he has money or his wisdom is open. His laughter means enough is enough. I have enough in this lifespan. He might also be laughing at himself and also his teacher. He might be thinking for the past 3 years he has not picked the wood in vain. Shifu, you should not hit me now. Not only Chen Taoists should not hit him, all the great cultivators in the world also cannot hit him. Even King Mara also cannot hit him. Why is this so? It is because he has left the triple realm. He has accomplished Buddhahood. Hitting with the long pole here also means looking down or slandering. We Buddha reciters are often hit by people who complain about our cultivation. They stood afar and pointed at us. He is a Buddha reciter. Here Simpleton Wang represents all the Buddha reciters. Tan the Taoist represents all the wise cultivators. people who rely on their own strength. Why does he say the teacher sit in vain for 18 years? It is because he does not possess the Dharma bliss of liberation. It is sitting like a piece of dry, withered wood. But we Buddha reciters are moisturized by the love of Amitabha Buddha. These are some points we can learn from Wang the Simpleton. A story told by Venerable Master Shi Jingzang, the abbot of Hangyon Monastery, Anhui, China. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha